Oke, boleh nampak kan? So, boleh kita mulai?
Boleh, dokter.
Okay. So, welcome all students to this RL21003 Industry Revolution 4.0 and Biometry. So, I think Dr. Chi already briefed yesterday, kan? About the course.
Yes.
Okay. So, I will run through again just to make sure everything is clear. So, for this course, they are divided into two. So the first week I'll be handling the first 7 weeks, and then the following the 8 until 14 weeks, Dr. Chi will be handling that course. So this is my background. So I attached with the Faculty of Computing in Kota Kinabalu since 1999. So more or less 24 years already lah in UMS in Kota Kinabalu. My special of area is more into computer science. In this course, I will cover some of the modeling topic. How do we analyze data using data modeling, such as classification, clustering, and forecasting, and many more. So mungkin in the beginning you will feel a bit difficult because they are more into advanced computing. I will try to make it more into the application level only. So in which you know the basic background of the tool that you're using, you just apply in order to produce output, and then you interpret the output based on your understanding. So let me proceed. So maybe Tachi has covered this one. So this is the course learning outcome. The first one is understanding the fundamental aspect of IR 4.0 and technique in machine learning. So this PLO1 focus more on the first week. Okay, the first week of this course, the first 7 weeks, and at the same time also you will have some practical application. So this is just to give you an exposure, hands-on experience on how do you use the tools for data analysis. So we focus more on practical skill. That is for the PLO3. Then after week 7, you will cover the descriptive and inferential statistics. So this one will you'll be able to demonstrate your numeracy skills. So these are the topic. The first 7 weeks, kita akan berjumpa selama 7 kali lah. So this is the first time. So for the first time, first week, we will cover the first one, which is the introduction to IR 4.0. So we are looking at some of the pillar, some of the main component of IR 4.0, dan juga application of IR 4.0 in agriculture. Okay. Then we will learn some of the machine learning algorithm. So basically di dalam setiap lecture tu, I will explain to you what is the function, how they work. In the practical, you will just apply the tool in order to do some analysis. So it will be a good experience or a new experience for you all. So this is what we'll cover. Okay. For the assessment, the assignment will be 20% of your final grade. Okay, so we have two reports here. One is for the first week, and the second week will be in the red one. So we have 15 and 15%. Okay, and quizzes will be online. All the quizzes will be online. I will ask you to do the quizzes online at certain week, certain time. So you need to log in lah. And we also have the midterm. So midterm will be 20% also lah. So your final exam will be 25%. So this is a breakdown of all the assessment that we have for you. Okay. So any question? Dapat
None so far, Doctor.
Huh?
No question so far.
So far, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the course yang the 7 week ni, I try not to be too technical or too detailed. They're just on the surface only. So just to give you the introduction of Industry 4.0, the main component and also the application of Industry 4.0. So since we are in the agriculture, we should know some of the advanced technique or advanced method that we use in order to assist production in agriculture. So what is Industry 4.0? So ramai orang discuss about AR 4.0, robotic and so on. So what is the Industry 4.0? So Industry 4.0 refer to the convergence and the application of 9 digital industrial technologies. So meaning that we are looking at the 9 pillar or the 9 technologies that we combine and we apply. So if you look at the previous slide, these are the 9 or the 9 component, the most important component that we have in Industry 4.0. So if we look at this one, so this is the Internet of Things. So like the Wi-Fi, the sensor and everything. So all of these will be used to capture information. Also have the horizontal and vertical system integration. So this is more on the system itself. We have the simulation and also the augmented reality, mostly used in games, okay, or in virtual reality. We also have the cloud, okay, where we store all the data. So 5 or 10 years back, we use server. Server is very expensive to maintain, and this is like a physical thing, like the physical server. But the cloud, meaning that we store our data in the cloud, so we don't think about the security room. We don't think about the server room or the data center room. So all of these are abstract in the cloud. Basically, they are stored in one place only by the system provider. So we also have cyber security, in which they look into the security of the communication between all the devices, entities in the network. We also have the autonomous robots, in which we allow them to work on their own based on the information obtained. And then we also have this additive manufacturing. So this is normally something to do with 3D printing. And lastly, so this is the one that we will be looking at for this this course. We try to use the machine learning technique on how do we analyze big data. So we will also define what is big data and also machine learning, what we will be using in order to analyze them. Sama juga dalam in your daily task in statistics, what you wanted to do is you want to describe the data set that you have. So you compute the mean, the average, standard deviation. So that is more on descriptive statistics. So in this course, kita akan belajar more tools that we can use to model our data. So we will focus more on this big data analytics. If you have any question, you can stop me anytime. If ada certain things that you do not understand, you can stop me and ask me lah. Okay. So where does the industry 4.0 come from? So nanti your friend or your boss asks you, why do we have industry 4.0? So if we have industry 4.0, we should have industry 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, kan? Okay. So it was started in 1784, in which we have the mechanization, steam, and water power. So this is the basic engineering that they have in 1784. Then when we have the electricity, and then we have the ability to produce item in mass production. So this is what we call the second revolution. It was in 1870, long time ago. Then in 1969, we have the third revolution, in which the IT and electronics emerge as an important component in our daily life. So we have the IT system, the automation, and many more. Okay, now we have the since 2014. Okay, this was led by the Germany. This is what we call the fourth revolution or Industry 4.0. So they have this what we call cyber physical system, in which we have the system, everything interconnected in a cyber place, all the data, all the tools available for us to manipulate the data, analyze the data, and then do some remote controlling, automation, and many more. There is more coming because 4.0 was introduced in 2014. So we have another one, Industry 5.0. So Industry 5.0 started in 2020 during the pandemic COVID-19, in which it focused on the mass optimization and cyber physical human intelligence. It means that everything that was designed before must be customized to accommodate human being punya requirement. So for example, shopping, where we explore the virtual reality, or the way we buy things, or the product, or do reporting to our boss, weekly meeting, and so on, or in education, how do we student online, or in health, and so on. So this is the Industry 5.0, in which everything that we done before must be customized closely to the human being requirement. Okay, so it also involves cognitive system. Cognitive system referring to something, a machine that has the capability to think like human being. So cognitive is the our brain cognitive system. So this is what we call the Industry 5.0. If we look deeper, so there are three pillars of Industry 5.0. So the first one is people centricity, so which means they focus on the people, they focus on the user. So how do we help human being in decision making? By providing some of the insight or knowledge that we have um, using the tools in 4.0. Also look at the sustainability, new skill for worker and circular processes to live a better world for future generation. So also look at how do we sustain the work that we have for human being. So in 4.0, some of the workers are released because we don't need them. But now in 5.0, we still need them, but we try to integrate with the robots. So that means human being and robot will work together. Because as you know, all the robots are just following orders. When it comes to making logical decision making, so we need human being. And the last one is resilient, being able to change quickly to stay ahead. So meaning that any new technology, any new update must be adapted quickly by human being because it is very fast technology. So we need to be able to adapt to the new technology. These are the three pillars of Industry 5.0, focusing on the people, and the people will be working together with the robots, and also we have to stay up to date with the latest technology.
Doctor, can I
Yes,
ask?
yes.
Can I ask? Is the 5.0 like AI includes
And,
like
yeah. Basically, the AI is already in 4.0. AI is included in the advanced robotic, yeah, and also in data analytic. Yeah. So artificial intelligence is referring to um,
5.0?
the definition of AI. Artificial intelligence refer to a system or a robot that try to imitate human being punya intelligence. For example, vision, natural language processing, or making decision. Okay, so these are some of the intelligence that we have, and in AI they study how to imitate human being intelligence. So that's one already included in here. So this is in 4.0. In 5.0, they are looking at um, all the devices, all the solution that we have. We must create in order to accommodate a human being, like customized so that human being can be um, addressed more effectively. So, for example, the experience to do shopping, okay, the experience to teach and learn from using ICT, or going through medical checkup. So all the process, we need to look into the process. How do we make it easier for the user to do shopping or do medical checkup or to learn? So 5.0 more into trying to accommodate human being punya requirement. And also that they say we need to involve human being back into the system where human being and the robots will work together. Okay, and the human being also need to update themselves more frequent. go for training, go for certification. So that is 5.0. But in 4.0, they do not emphasize on human being. They only talk about technology, advanced robotic, augmented reality, simulation, in IoT, cloud, and cybersecurity. So they did not mention about human being. 5.0, they try to connect to the society. How do we make the life of the society or community more um, like more comfortable or more advanced? You see the difference between 4.0 and 5.0? So,
Yes, doctor.
yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Okay, this is a snapshot of future farming solutions. So since you are in the agriculture faculty, so at the moment we have all this data that we have. We have data from the internet, we have data from the cloud, we have data from the sensor, and many more. This is from the drone. So how do we make use of the data that we have? So we need to use the IoT, the sensor, the big data analytic in order for us to come up with new knowledge or more into organized knowledge that we can use to manage our farm. So for example, we are looking at the plant sensor, we are looking at the drone punya input or video images captured by the drone or from the internet or from the cloud. So whatever data that we have here, we have to make use of that in order to manage our data in agriculture. So they call it precision agriculture. So how do we use the industry 4.0 in agriculture? So we can divide them into five stages. First one is sensor. All the sensor that we have can use to capture information, and robotic can be used to capture information as well. So once we get the data capture, then we need to be able to connect them to our server at home or server at the office. So we need connectivity. We need the IoT. Okay. So the device communication can be accommodated using the IoT. And then the device to the server can also be accommodated using the wireless or the IoT mechanism. So once we able to connect them to the server, then we can store them in the storage. So we call it cloud computing because we store them on the data center, but store in the okay abstract only. Okay, so we can do some pre-processing, cleaning in order to uh, be processed in the next one, which is the data analytic. We analyze the data that we capture. So we will be focusing more on this for the 7 weeks. For the remaining 6 weeks, we will focus on data analytics. So based on the output that we get from the AI, the machine learning algorithm, we can use that knowledge to do some decision making. So for example, uh, we want to predict when will be the best time to harvest paddy, or when will be the right time to start the paddy planting. So we use the information from the sensor, from the data modeling for decision making. So this one will tell you what are some of the sample of application of AI and big data in agriculture. So, for example, in agriculture robots, we use them to for crop harvesting, fruits picking, for grading and sorting, and control. Um, we, in decision support system, we can use the data for precision farming, livestock monitoring. So livestock monitoring is just looking into the cattle, lamb, and so on, using the camera to look at the how healthy or what is the size of your cattle and so on. Okay, we can also use the decision support system for labor management, how many staff you need, how many shift you need, how much you need to save in order to make a profit. Also, the food supply chain. The food supply chain is on your farming production or your livestock production. You can be involved in the food supply chain. What is the demand outside there? Maybe you can reduce some of the livestock depending on the demand. And for the data analytic, we can also perform disease diagnosis, species recognition. For example, you want to recognize buah mangga yang tiada efek kah atau ada efek. So it's more on the sorting and grading lah. We could also perform soil health analysis. So we look at the kandungan hydrogen, level of pH, level of moisture dalam tanah, so we can match with best crop that we can tanam di kawasan tu lah. So this is very important because some people, when they have the land kan, tanam durian, they tanam pisang, but some of the plant is not growing well because the soil properties are not good or not matched with the crops that they plan to plant. For the predictive analytics, we can do some forecasting. When is the best time to harvest? We can also forecast the price for each of the item that we have, depending on the demand and so on. So I will try to share later on some of the work that we have done with Pharma, the Minister of Pharma is agro something. I will show you the demand of each of the agro food that we have in Malaysia. Okay. So this time we talk about big data. What is big data? Data yang gemuk kah atau ini kah? So big data can explain in the 4V. 4V. The first one is volume. Large volume of data. Okay, so if you have large volume of data, we consider them as big data. We could also have the velocity. Okay, velocity referring to, because velocity is fast data. So fast data referring to data that we get from sensor. So we have a lot of data coming from sensor we can use to make decision later on. We could also have variety of different data. So contohnya we have video, images, and numbers. So we have data also from the social media, from the Facebook, Twitter, and many more. So when we say big data, variety is considered as different form of data. And last one is the capacity. Okay, certain data is crucial at certain point of your time. After that, it will be no longer crucial. For example, if you want to change your money for USD and you check the currency rate for today, it will not be the same for tomorrow or for the next week and so on. Okay? So when it times to come to tomorrow, data that you have today will no longer be valid because outdated already. Tomorrow we will have a new currency rate if you want to change money. So that is the thing that they are trying to say here. So we have volume, we have sensor, we have data coming from sensor, we have variety type of data, and the last one is the uncertainty of data, so which is valid at certain time only. So these are the 4 V of big data that we can use in order to describe. So if you say you have a variety of data, we can say big data lah. So if you have large volume of data, that is considered big data also. Okay. Okay. So if you look at the main ingredient for this course is data analytics. Okay, how do we perform data analysis using machine learning? Okay. But before we proceed, we want to look at how the data analytic can be defined. So this course kita akan guna machine learning program. So what is machine learning program? So machine learning focus on the development of computer program that can access data and use it learn for themselves. That we machine learning is just a software we use in order to learn data that we have in our data center. And this computer program is designed based on the statistics. For example, you're looking at the number of hits. What is the maximum number of hits? What is the median and so on. So we use statistics in order to design the machine learning. And next, sometimes they call it data mining. Data mining is practice of applying this machine learning. So we apply machine learning to extract new knowledge. So that is what we call data mining. So data mining, we apply machine learning to extract new knowledge. Okay, you mentioned about AI kan? So AI is science to develop a system or software to mimic or to imitate human being intelligence. For example, natural language processing, how we talk, the way we see, how do we detect, how do we recognize, and also how do we do perception. So the machine learning is just one of the subset in the AI. So meaning that the big umbrella is AI and machine learning is just one of the entity that we have. And people in the business also use machine learning or AI, or they call it business intelligence, in which it is a technology-driven process for analyzing data and presenting actionable information. So if you are in business or in economy, they call it business intelligence. Basically, they are using machine learning or the technology in order to analyze the data. And this business intelligence is just apply the data mining. Okay, the last one is the knowledge discovery. So the process of knowledge discovery cover all the things that we have covered so far. So this is the science of finding pattern within set of data, and data mining is part of the knowledge discovery process. So if I look at the knowledge discovery, so I will focus on this one. So this is the knowledge discovery process that we have. Basically, what we want to do is want to understand the business first. What is the objective of your organization? What they want to do? So based on that, you will try to understand what data they have, and you will clean them, and then you try to model the data based on the requirement that I mentioned earlier, which is in the business understanding. Data that they want to have, what kind of insight or new information that they want to have. And then once we build the data modeling, then we will evaluate them. Then we will deploy if they are satisfiable. And that is the circle that we have in the knowledge discovery. So always going back to your main objective, what you want to achieve, what do you want to do with your data. So when we talk about what we want to do with our data, we have types of analytics. Okay, we have descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, descriptive, and cognitive. So what we want to do is this one. We need to be able to differentiate between predictive and the other analytics. Okay, the first one is descriptive. So this one always dealing with what is happening in your business. Okay, it gives you us only insight about whether everything is going well or not in our business without explaining the root cause. So this is you describe how your business looks like. Okay, and the second one is diagnostic analytics. So this is explain the root cause of what is your status at the moment. As you perform diagnostic, so similar to when you perform diagnostic of your computer, you want to know what's wrong with your computer, then they can perform the diagnostic analytics. And the third one, so in this course, we will focus on this. We will look into the predictive analytics. So this is explain what's likely to happen in the future based on previous trend, because we have the current data now. So we want to see the trend in the next 5 years. So we want to see whether when we get new data, can be classified as negative or positive or neutral item. So we will focus on this. So more on predictive analytics. We also have the prescriptive analytics. This is showing you step by step on how to repeat the same thing or to avoid something. So this is more on procedural description that we need to follow in order to bypass or eliminate some of the future issues that we have. Lastly, cognitive analytics. So this is the new one. In the previous 4, we only have 4. This is the new one. And they combine AI, they combine machine learning, and they combine deep learning, and so on, to perform certain tasks. So we will cover is only this one, because this is the data modeling that we can use in order to analyze our data for decision making. Okay, since we are focusing on this predictive data analytics, so we will look into some of the methods that we have. Okay, so in general, we have four types of predictive analytics. The first one is called prediction. We can perform prediction. We can perform classification. We can perform prediction. We can perform pattern recognition. So these are some of the algorithm that we have. So we can divide it into statistics. Okay, for the regression, you will learn in the second half of the semester. And the blue one is the machine learning. So we will learn this one in this first 7 weeks. And are similar to this rule base. So we'll cover this. So this is for prediction. We also have the method for segmentation or for clustering or for grouping based on content of the data. So we have statistical base and also the machine learning. So this is for classification. This is for clustering. If we have series data, for example, you want to predict the crop yield the next 5 years for paddy. So you can perform this one also. Forecasting using the neural network or the statistic method. We will cover all this. 1, 2, 3. So for this one, is more into correlation. We want to find the association between two items. Normally, this is used in the market basket analysis. And this is the type of machine learning for predictive analytics. So first we have the predictive analytics. Then we can divide them into prediction, segmentation, and forecasting. So when we come to the machine learning, so this is the prediction. Okay? We call it supervised learning. This is what we call the segmentation or the clustering. Or maybe I should write. This is segmentation. So we will focus on this clustering and classification. Okay. Okay. To look at some of the application that we have created, this is some of the project that we have done before, together with your lecturer, Dr. Januarius. So this is the project that we done in 2021. I call it integrated cyber physical system approach to enhancing paddy production, in which we are looking at the healthness or the condition of the paddy, sawah paddy lah. Banyak air kah? So depending on the color of the paddy, it can determine the level of the quality of the paddy that we have. For this one, we got the Canadian Special and Gold Awards in 2021. So this is dealing with paddy lah, looking at the health of the paddy. We also have this one, deep learning approach to cattle weight estimation tracking system, in which we try to estimate the weight of the cattle on the images. So this is very crucial because we also have the feeding program. We want to know whether the feeding program is effective in order to increase the weight of the cattle or how much we need to feed them. What are the type of feeding that we are going to serve? So we create this deep learning approach to cattle weight estimation just to keep track the uh, weight of the cattle. For this one, we also have the awards. Okay. And next one, we have this novel two-tier convolutional neural network. This is to predict the health of the beef based on the weight. So yang tadi itu based on the weight kan? No, we try to estimate the weight of the cattle based on finding that we get from the previous one. We apply that one, the estimated weight, in order to estimate the health of the beef cattle. So this one we got the gold and inventor Circle Special Award in 2022 last year from Canada also. Okay, this is more on the biodiversity in which we create this solution to estimate the high carbon stock in the forest. So this one we got silver and two-mead special award from Canada also. So these are the sample of big application we have done so far. I'm not expecting you to do the same thing here. We will do a simple analysis using the machine learning that we have for you to get some insight of your data. So don't worry, you won't be doing this kind of work. It's just to show you the application of machine learning. We also have this. We got gold award in Germany, in which we try to recognize this in the darkness. So we use infrared and also deep learning in order to recognize our sun. So having gone through all those things, we will be learning will be on the this area only. So there are so big area in machine learning. We will look into the supervised, especially in classification and also regression, and also the unsupervised, which is the clustering. So those are the three areas that we will be focusing. We may get some of these for the regression as well. So we may cover this one or two. So this is a new knowledge for you where you can apply some of the tools in machine learning to do your analysis. So again, in this slide, they show you, okay, the main criteria will be this. So if you start from here, if your sample is greater than 50 and you are trying to predict and you have the label data, then you go to classification. If you do not have label, you go to segmentation, clustering. Okay. This one, if you want to, if you're dealing with number, you go here, more on regression. So don't worry, these are the three main things that we cover: the classification, clustering, and regression. But the second part also you will learn regression, but I will cover the neural network part, the machine learning part. One that you study next will be in the second half will be more on statistic based. Okay, so this is another example. There are so many machine learning techniques that we have. So the challenges that we have in most cases, your boss or the top management are not aware about the direction now. So even now we have 4.0 or 5, 5.0. In Japan, they have 6.0 already. So, but most of our bosses here in Malaysia, especially in Sabah, they are not aware about Industry 4.0. And in most cases, our system, uh, especially in the government sector, in the Sabah state, they have island of system, which means that they are not centralized. And lack of support from private and public sector due to the data privacy. So they do not want to share their data. And also we have poor data capturing. We don't know what data to be captured and stored. Then lastly, lack of local expertise in data science. So that's why the course is recommended to you so that you know how to use the machine learning. So the data scientists not necessarily come from computer science. You can learn tools in order to analyze the data. Because you are expert in agriculture, you know your data better. If you know how to use or apply the tools, then it will be beneficial for you. So I hope this course will help you in terms of producing model and then analysis that you can use for your report. Okay, so with that, I stop my lecture here. This is just the introduction part. Um, so next thing that we will be in the second week. We'll start our class on Tuesday, normal hour. So we will cover the first one, which is we will start with this one. So unsupervised learning is more on how do we segment our data, how do we perform clustering. Okay? So it will be more interesting because we will do some practical, we will do some exercise, we do some actual hands-on so that you know how to use the tools for the data modeling. So the software that we will be using will be software. So you need to download lah. Huh? Any question? No? Still there?
So far, there's no question, Doctor.
Okay.
No, doctor.
So we meet next Tuesday lah, kan? So today is just a brief overview of the course. So what do you think about the course? Susah atau senang?
Quite complicated.
Susah,
Why complicated,
doctor.
Pak?
Susah.
Susah kah?
Susah.
Nanti kita buat ni hands-on. I will teach you how to upload the data, how do we perform the analysis lah.
Doktor.
Boleh kan? That too advanced kah? The overview.
Ya,
Ya, tuh yang mau update tuh kan